Welcome to the start of another week at Brick Arena. Quite a lot to do this morning, although I did get a head start last night, which I'll show you shortly. A reasonable amount of orders over the weekend, but some really good value, and really pleased with the way the weekend's gone. But you know, that Monday morning is always painful, always lots to do, always a rush, so I better get on and show you what we've got. So here we are with Bricklink, and on Bricklink we've got 14 orders, not massive lot counts, which is nice because it means I won't be spending hours and hours on any particular order, but we've got almost £400 worth of orders there, which is nice. And then on Brick Owl we have got another 12 orders. And then on eBay, we have got another 8 orders. So lots to do, and as usual, got to be at the post office before midday, which is, as I said, always a struggle. So best get cracking. So the first batch of orders is all picked and packed. This is all of the eBay stuff, various minifigures, dimension sets, which have been doing really well for me since I started listing them over the last week. This is the Doctor Who dimension set that I think I showed last week. We've got a Homer Simpson dimension set, and then over here more orders. You can see, as always, these are always the smaller ones that I do first, and I tend to leave the larger orders till last for some reason. I don't know why. It's just I guess just putting off the picking the large amounts, and these are just quicker to get out of the way, and you feel like you're making some progress when you've already processed quite a lot of orders. Just the way I do it. Everybody's different. So I'm just going to get these ones packed away and ready for the post office, and then we'll get cracking with the next batch. So I've still not finished picking all of the orders yet, but I really need to get some of these packed up because it's almost, well, I've got an hour maybe at the most before I have to be at the post office. So I'm going to get these packed up, see what I can get done, and the remainder's going to have to probably go tomorrow. But better press on anyway and get done what I can. It's Tuesday the 8th of November. And I didn't manage to get much recording done yesterday because there was just so much to do in terms of orders. And I find that Monday just puts me under so much pressure. And there was no way I was going to make the 12 o'clock deadline. But I did what I could do, and I got them off to the post office at midday, and I had a bit of a chat with the Royal Mail staff there, and you know, just reiterated how crazy it is them closing on a Monday. And they were very good, and said that I could come back later in the day and drop the remainder of my items at the back door, which was great. And that's the benefit of getting to know the staff, getting to know the people, especially, you know, by name. And I highly recommend that you do that yourself with your local postmaster, etc., because you never know when they're going to do you a little favour. It doesn't change the fact that Mondays are always going to be difficult, and you know, I'd already worked a bit on the Sunday, and it may be that over the busy period over, you know, winter with Christmas coming up, that I might have to do a bit more time on the Sunday to make sure that I'm better prepared. Ultimately, the main problem though was the fact that I had several issues with a few orders. I just had parts that were missing. I had one part that I couldn't locate, and it was, you know, it's typical that all these things come together and always seem to trip you up. But anyway, onwards and upwards, we'll crack on again today. I'll show you in a second the orders for today, and we need to get cracking with them. But I must admit, it's been a really good weekend money-wise. The orders have been good value, and a reasonable amount of them. And at this point, I'm 50% up on where I was last month, which is always good. So long may it continue, and you know, hopefully those orders keep rolling in and it keeps me busy. Of course, while I'm picking orders, I'm not getting stuff done in terms of adding to the store, etc. But that's the price you pay, and you know, that was always going to be the difficult challenge, that, you know, if business picked up, which is the aim of adding all of the stock, then it does make it difficult to, you know, keep adding more, and therefore showing more interesting content through what you're adding. But anyway, let's press on, and we'll see how we get on with the rest of the week. So here we go with today's orders. We've got 7 orders to ship, 1 still to invoice, and these are not too bad. One of them is 90 lots, which is not too bad to pick. 90 is just like doing 2 reasonable size orders. So that's a couple £100 worth there. And then on Brickowl, we've just got 1. On eBay, we've got 5 orders to ship out, and every one of those is a dimension set. So the dimension sets are really, you know, really doing well for me at the moment. And in fact, you can see on my desk here a bit of a mess, but this was me rebuilding dimension sets at the weekend. Ignore the little fox, buildable fox at the front there. Yeah, I made up an extra, I think 4 Barts and 3 Krusties and several Homers. So all selling well, and we'll get them moved out today and probably rebuild a few more. So I've been picking orders again, and this is what we've got so far. Several orders on eBay for dimension sets. These will all be broken down before shipping, just to save on the shipping. We've got an order here which is all entirely 1x2s, 1x1s, and the odd 1x4 bricks. The largest order so far today was 90 lots of this little lot. And I say sort of was the largest order because I've just had another order come in for 103 lots. But my misery continues because I've had an order from Germany, and amongst the order they wanted 131 of these. And I don't know how, but I've got a massive shortfall. I've got 80 here. So I'm like 51 short, and I can't find them anywhere. They're not in my overflow. I can only assume that somehow we've miscounted, but it's an enormous miscount. Now, oddly, and this is what's really weird, this guy ordered 131 of these bricks. And yesterday I had another order for 131 of them, and that order went off to Switzerland. So I don't know if that's coincidental or whether it's something to do with some sort of mock. I can't believe that one order has impacted the other, but you never know. So maybe there's been an issue with updating the quantity on Bricklink or something, but I can't believe it. Both orders were on Bricklink. It's not like one was Bricklink and one was Brickowl, so there's some confusion there. So I don't know what's gone on. I've got another couple of little orders, and 2 more orders have just come in, but we'll do them a little later, probably after lunch. So I need to get these packed away now and get them ready for the post office. With everything I've got to do, migrating all of the Brick Pickers store over to mine, I'm not really looking to buy new stock. So I'm not really keeping an eye out on deals online. I'm not going to be paying attention on Black Friday, particularly to spend money. But when I was at my local supermarket on Saturday, I picked up these sets. Now, I just couldn't pass them by because they were just so cheap. So these were from Tesco, and they were, well, this stunts pack was £12. It's a double set, and I thought at £12 it was worth it. The part out was decent at that price, although I do realise that there are some parts in there that aren't going to be great sellers in great colours, such as the ramps here, which I already have, and even the motorbikes. I'm not sure how well they're going to move, and I think that entire range has been a little bit of a flop, hasn't it? But I thought at £12 they were worth picking up. And then what I thought was an even better deal, in fact, I think those, I can't remember which way around this was now. Those might have been, no, I think those were £12.50, and these were 12. And these are Friends 3-in-1 bundle packs, and these are the sets that you get in there. There's 41695, 41443, and 41677. And I thought at £12, those were just really good buys. So only had 3 of those in stock, so that's all I could get. And these were the last 5 of these as well. And at some point we'll get these added to the store. 10 orders for Wednesday, the 9th of November, and a real mix of things on here. Some are from subscribers of the channel. Shout out to Paul for this order for lots of sharks, crocodiles, and oddly a lot of apples that go with the sharks. So not sure how the two relate. But other parts orders, some eBay orders. We've got a Thanos going out there, new and sealed. Another Homer Simpson dimension set, which those dimensions have just been, you know, selling every single day, which has been really good. More parts orders with the odd minifigure there going out to the US. And over here, don't send here very often. This is a nice minifigure parts order going out to Vietnam. You know, people, you know, I often see on sort of forums and things, you know, people restricting their orders to the UK, for instance, because they're nervous about international sales and are they going to get ripped off, etc. I've got to say, and I should be touching wood now, but I've never had a problem sending internationally with things going missing, people making artificial claims, anything like that. And I literally send anywhere in the world. So don't be put off by it. Open up those transactions to international shipping. I don't even send tracked most of the time unless someone asks for it. Specifically, or unless it's a very high value, then I will insist on tracked. But typical orders of, you know, 30-40 quid, then, you know, I don't even bother. So all the post is done now, and I can finally get back to listing more of these parts. As you can see, we've still got a fairly large box here that's largely full of all kinds of parts. Initially, all the white parts were on the top, and I thought they were all white. There's still a fair bit of white in here, but there's all sorts of stuff in here. So I'm going to crack on, get as much of this listed as I can, which is obviously going to build up the back logo, or rather the overflow again. And I really must try and get some of that overflow put away. Thursday the 10th of November, and we've got 9 orders in today. More of the dimension sets moving out. They just keep selling every single day, and they've been such a good thing to have listed, to be honest with you, and really brought in some good money. And more parts orders with the rest of these that are going out today. We've got our largest order here, which is 99 lots, which mostly parts, but some minifigs and things in there.
We've got a motor going off to Brazil, and one more order over here, which is another parts order as well. Still got so much to do over here with this box of parts. It's pretty, relatively slow going, because you have to figure out what the part is. You've got to count it, you've got to put it away, merge it with your existing stock, and it's just time consuming. And to be honest, this week I just don't really feel like I've gotten that much done. I've spent so much time picking orders this week, which is obviously a great thing. And I think I said earlier that orders are really up this week, in particular, and I'm still at sort of 60% up on last month on orders. Everything's up. Average order value, number of orders per day, everything's up at least 30%, and overall sales value at around 60%. So I'm definitely happy with that, and long may that continue. We do have some things to part out. Not sure when we're going to get to these. I'm hoping to get some help with those and a few other bits and bobs. But anyway, I'm going to get cracking now and get those orders wrapped up, ready for the post office. So time to get today's post all sorted and labelled up and ready for the post office. And the way I do that is I tend to batch everything. You'll have seen in the videos that I pick everything, or as much as I can, with the table space that I've got available to me, and then I'll pack them all together. I'll write a few little details on the front of the parcel, just indicating the name of the person, the weight, and any special sort of shipping requirements, whether there's tracking, that kind of thing. I then push everything over to click and drop. So this is my click and drop screen on the computer here. Everything is pushed over via Brick Freedom. One of the great features of Brick Freedom now is that you can push over both Bricklink and Brickowl orders all over at the same time, or individually, however you want to do it, over to the click and drop system, ready to apply the postage. So then all I do is I'll sit at my desk and batch them up, and I'll start going through them, and I will look for a particular package. Let's have a look at this one here. So I'll just go into the order, apply the postage. This one's 50 grams. Most of my stuff is large letter, Royal Mail first class, which is the case in this instance. So I'll put that on there. And then I'll just work through the next one. Typically what I would normally do, if I wasn't kind of filming this and using the desk space and being a bit more sort of careful about people's names and things, is I would put them into piles by weight. So I'd put all of the sort of 20 grams, 25 grams together, and then would just apply them in batch. So I'd just select them all on the screen, and then apply the appropriate postage for that particular batch of orders. So next one up for me is actually an eBay one, and the other good thing about click and drop is all eBay orders come in automatically, so I'm never ever typing in addresses and names into click and drop. They all just come in automatically. So this one is going to be a second class, because all of my eBay stuff tends to come in second class, or rather Royal Mail 48, which is what I do these days, because that provides you with a tracking number. And I'm just going to work through each of these as I go, and then I'll get to the point where I'll want to print and apply the labels. So I end up with my labels here ready to apply, and I just work typically in reverse order usually, and that means that I'm going to be just dropped on just a second, and that means that I'm going to be applying them in the reverse of how I just entered them into the system, and means that the actual packages are going to be closer to hand, or that's the theory anyway. So that's them all labelled up now, and I'm just going to go and get them put into the Royal Mail sacks, and they're ready to go. Right, I think it's time I did something about some of this overflow. I have moved some, or I do keep moving some of it, but because I'm adding so much lately, it just keeps mounting up and mounting up. Now what I really need to do is, I've got this big lot of white here, and so I've pulled out my white. So this is, believe it or not, my white overflow box. Now I've traditionally, aside from having the white in here, I've had tires and clear parts as well, so that's going to have to change. So the first thing I'm doing is taking out all of the clear and tires and rims that I had in there. Now that's going to create some space, but the main thing I'm needing to do is go through each of the parts in here and see if I've got the same part over here, merge them and put them back into the box. Now it looks like everything is not going to fit in that box, so we're going to have to find a secondary white overflow space, which will probably be in one of the drawers for now at least. And you know, what I could do is not bother merging them, and merging might even be difficult when I see something like this, because I'm not even sure I've got a bigger bag to put those in, so we might end up with 2 bags in some cases. We'll just have to play it by ear as we go. So anyway, I'll come back and see what we've managed to do, and see if we can get rid of some of this overflow. So I think that's about as much as I can reasonably expect to get into that box, and still kind of get the lid on. I haven't actually tried that yet, but that will go on. We've got this much still to find somewhere for. Now I think this is going to go into one of the drawers over this side of the room, probably into here. I think we've got some space in these, so we'll probably put that into one of these drawers there, and then we also need another drawer to put these clear parts in, and another for the tires as well. But thankfully we've got plenty of empty drawers, and then that will clear some of that away, and then I can work on getting some of the other colours away as well. Now the blacks is another big problem, because the black overflow is full as well, so we're going to need a secondary black overflow. So this is what I knew was always going to be the problem doing this method, was working something out for the overflow, and what I'm doing at the moment is still temporary, still not sure what I'm going to do with the overflows. One thing for sure is I can't have the overflows at the container, because occasionally I do need to go into the overflow to get extra quantity, and I obviously don't want to be going to the container every time I need to either refill a drawer or, you know, get extra bulk parts from there. It's Friday the 11th of November, and after a busy week we've got a really quiet morning. We've got 7 orders here, but they're all really tiny orders, and they literally took about 5 minutes to pick, so nice and easy to do and to get packed up. Now I'm going to just do a check and make sure that I've got some of these sets listed on eBay. I've got a few more things on here, nothing exciting to be honest, but I have got more upstairs, bigger sets upstairs, which I need to go and check and get them listed as well. And just make sure, with it being you know, this time of year, these are more likely to sell, and don't want to miss out. So I've got some of these listed already. This one, there didn't seem to be many of them, if any, to be honest, on eBay. So was a little unsure what to price that at. But I've had a little go at a reasonably high price, and we'll see what that goes for. Others are more sort of modest sets. We've got the Penguin Arctic Roller. This one was a nice little surprise. I've seen this selling for about £50. A nice little city set, which probably cost about 15. So we've got that listed. An old Lego Movie Castle Cavalry set. And this one surprises me at how low it seems to go, actually, because this one has got the Scuba Iron Man in, which can sell for anything up to about £40, and yet the set only seems to be going for about £45 or so. So we'll see how that goes. And then I've also got Batman Rescue from Ra's al Ghul, and that seemed to be a reasonable price set. Now I've got some more here to go through, and this is one that's given me cause to think about, because this is a very old set. It's a Lego Islanders set. I think I've got it up. Do I have it up on Bricklink at the moment? I'm just wondering what. So this was released in 1994. There's none for sale new on Bricklink, at least in the UK. There's one for $150 in the US, one for 99 euros. So there's only two even for sale new on Bricklink. Now I have seen some new ones sell, there we go, for like £171 for this little set. Now I don't expect to get that kind of money, but I just don't know what to price it at, and because of that I'm wondering whether to do this as an auction with a high start price, and see how we go, see whether we get any bidders that way, because it's one of those items that could, you know, sell for silly money or could just not move. So I'll probably do that and take some good pictures, because there's obviously a set of this age, there is some dents to the boxes, but the seal appears to be good. You know, there's no sign of that being tampered with. I mean, you know, there's no other way of sort of checking that this is all right, but I'm going to be interested to see what I make on this, because I paid £10 for it on Facebook a few years ago, and we'll see what we make. Okay, well, I'm bored with adding things to eBay, so I'm going to fall back on this lot. Still quite a bit in this box to get listed. This has really been quite an effort to get all of this listed in the end, and it's just a case of chipping away at it for maybe an hour at a time here and there. So I'm going to do another hour or so now and try and get this down a bit more. So let's see what's worth listing first. We'll take that. Don't really like these printed things. Plates are always good. Bit of a funky colour, but always good to see them move. Some modified bricks. Let's get all this tea out, I think. I know it's not a great seller, but it just helps to sort of concentrate on one colour a little bit sometimes. So let's do that. Has to be done. Anything else super interesting in here? Some more plates there. We'll get them as well. And let's go and get these listed, and we'll come back for some more. So I've been working on this brick store file now for a few days on and off, which are all of the parts that were coming out of this box. And as you can see, you know, there's still a lot to come out. And remember, we took most of the white parts out last week, which gave us a big boost in numbers. Over the last few days, I've managed to add 7,300 parts for a value of around £470. Now, I'm going to get this uploaded now because I don't see me getting much more of this done today. I've got to take my wife off for an appointment shortly, so we're going to lose probably most of the rest of today. We'll see what time we have later. I've got to get to the post office as well, and we'll see what other things we can get done. But I'm going to get this uploaded to the store, and we'll see where that leaves us for the time being. So after uploading those parts, we're at 619,489, which is actually a little bit down on where we were last week, which is incredible, and just shows how many parts we've sold over the last week. We're closing in on our 4,000th order. Not too many to go. Maybe we hit that in the next week or so. And one thing I did miss recently as well was me getting my 6th teal brick for going over 2,500 in feedback. Nice to see the fans growing as well, 266 fans at the moment, which isn't bad in relation to the number of orders that we've had as well. So still lots to do, lots to get into the store. It's been a bit frustrating this week in terms of how much we've got added to the store, and that's been partly down to the sheer number of orders and other factors for the week. But you know, you get weeks like that, and other weeks where you just seem to get, you know, shed loads of stuff uploaded. But we'll take each week as it comes. As we start to get over the Christmas period, orders are going to get busier and busier, I hope, and that will give us less and less time to keep adding things to the store over the next few months. But we'll keep plodding away, and we'll get as much uploaded as we possibly can. So it's Friday evening, almost 8:30 in the evening, and I'm still working. And the reason is I had about half a day off today because I had to run my wife on an errand, and I've got back and there's a bunch of orders. So I thought I'm going to get them done tonight and get them in the post in the morning, which is something I don't normally do. Don't normally post on a Saturday morning. But I'm away all day tomorrow at football, and going to watch my team play Norwich tomorrow. And then on Sunday, normally, recently on a Sunday evening, I have been packing some orders, but I've arranged to talk to Brick Pickers this week and have a catch up with him, see how he's getting on, and see what he's up to. It'd be really good to have a chat with him and see what's happening, and I'm sure he'll want to know how it's going with the integration of the store. But I just thought I'd show you these orders first. Mostly just parts orders. This is the largest one, only 27 lots, but quite a lot of bulk, all tan. Couple of eBay orders. We've got another Dimension set, a Marty McFly and a Dark Trooper going out. And then the main thing I wanted to show you, because I've covered this in the video before, is this. And this is the Darth Vader Pearl Dark Chrome torso. And somebody reached out to me yesterday and asked for some photographs of it, and I sent them across the photographs this morning, and they've purchased it. So this little torso sold for £50. So quite pleased with that. I sold the legs previously, if you recall, for about 22. So that's probably the most expensive torso and legs that I've ever sold, to be honest. Now the figure, when complete, and I'm assuming the person who's bought it is hoping to complete the figure, sells for about £300, I think. It's really sought after, so hopefully they make the money back from that. So anyway, going to get these all packed up, and then that's me. Well, I was going to say that's me done for the night. It isn't really, because then I'm going to start editing this week's vlog, ready for you guys to watch on Sunday. So hope you enjoy it.